that's standing out for you where the Nifty 50 is concerned today, Kunal?
So large caps again are making a comeback. I think today it's a differentiated set of large cap names. Today it's not the usual HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank which are making a comeback, but you have a different set altogether. The likes of BSC, Lupin, pharma stocks are showing signs of strength. So I think that's where the markets could probably get some bit of a positive Q on. FMCG index is also seeing a good recovery, and this comes as a very positive surprise for the markets or the sector front as such, because we were at a point of a breakdown of sorts on the FMCG index. But with this recovery, this also puts in place that the markets are into a very stable trajectory. And broadly, when you look at the index, we are still trading in a band of 25,000, 25,200. But then I think if we can manage to absorb the kind of negativity which was there in the index yesterday, the opening downtake and then the intraday correction for the index, I think this is a very good repair work or the recovery for the index. Net, the breakout point for the Nifty is still at 25,000 to 25 thereabouts on the spot levels. My belief is that hopefully in the next 1 or 2 days, we should see that breakout happening on the spot levels Nifty. And wherever that happens, I think we could now be looking at 25,500 as the next set of targets for the index. So stance still remains on the bullish side.
And Kunal, do you still believe 25,500 can be achieved in the next day or so, because we're approaching Friday? Or do you think that's a bit of a test?
I mean, if it happens one day after also, it's okay. But
Sure.
I think the mood of the market still indicates that the recovery path for the index is still on the upside. And I would be happy if it achieves, say, by tomorrow. That's my expectation. But even if it happens in the next couple of days, that should be fine.
Okay, the clear leader today is the Nifty Metal Pack. Let's pull up the Nifty Metal Index. What a phenomenal move. 1.8% higher on the Nifty Metal today. Of course, you have a Tata Steel, JSW Steel, fully supportive of that move. But we're clocking new highs nearly every other day where the Nifty Metal Index is concerned. 10,300 breached and taken out by the Nifty Metal Index. The top gainers there, Hindustan Copper. There's also Lloyd's Metal, which is doing very well. Hindustan Zinc is doing very well. NMDC, well, this one has been a standout for the last few days and continues to stand out today as well, up nearly 3% on the back of all of the gains it's already clocked. So NMDC is surely in focus. And then there's, of course, the two large caps, which weigh heavy on the Nifty Metal on either side of the move that it makes. There's also Nalco. This one also has been in focus, 2% move. I remember Nalco was one of the picks that Kunal had, and we had another couple of technical analysts yesterday who had Nalco on their radar. I'll be curious to know whether that up move and that momentum can sustain, and 235 still could be a good target when Nalco is concerned. Kunal, you think so?
Yeah, very much, Harshan. I think today it's a classic synchronized move for the entire metal/commodity space. And I think looking at Nalco, the breakout on NMDC, Tata Steel, I think the stock sitting at a multi-month high, SAIL 6% up, Vedanta heading towards a breakout. And so I think when you look at this kind of context from the entire metal/commodity theme, I think it's a brilliant setup for the entire sector. And I also get a sense that even though the dollar index is at 99, I sense that we are looking at a near-term top or a resistance point for the dollar index. And I think that's what the markets are probably anticipating heading towards a breakout for the Nifty Metal Index. So if that happens, if the reversal happens on the dollar index, you might probably expect another propelling move for the entire metal sector.
You know, Kunal, they say copper is the new gold. And clearly Hindustan Copper seems to be reflecting the way in which gold is moving. Talk to us about that one. 5% higher today, and it just continues to breach its highs.
Sixth consecutive week of price uptrend for Hindustan Copper, and I think for 220, in just no matter of time, the stock has jumped back to 350 plus levels. So there are two stocks in the same breath. Of course, copper is one, silver is the other commodity, and Hindustan Copper and Hindustan Zinc. I think both of these stocks, which do get influenced by both of these base commodities, I think both of these stocks are looking very strong on the charts. Now we are looking at a point where these commodities are already into a multi-month, multi-quarter rally for themselves. So which means that eventually or gradually, even the stocks would probably head into the further breakout level. So bullish on the stocks. Whether you're looking to buy the entire quantity at current levels, that could be a bit of a trade. But I think sizing the positions on dips could be a good strategy.
Okay. Kunal, the other piece that'll obviously play out between today and tomorrow is TCS, and IT in particular We've had a very good move on IT, another near percent higher on the Nifty IT index today. TCS up 0.7. Let's pull up some of the big names in IT, and Infosys and HCL Tech, Tech Mahindra, Wipro, LTI, Mindtree. Let's pull all of those up and try and see what the moves seem to suggest. 0.5% higher on Infosys as well. HCL Tech is doing surprisingly well. 2.5% higher on an HCL Tech. Then some of the mid-cap names. Persistent is up 1.4. Wipro is doing well as well, 0.8 odd percent. LTI, Mindtree also similar breadth, and so is Tech Mahindra. So pretty much in a decent kind of a move where IT is concerned. What's your take, Kunal? Sustainability of this, because a lot of this will also depend on fundamental factors. But give us the sense, what's it looking like on charts? Would you trade it at this point, or would you avoid?
See, of course, you avoid, as a technical trade, especially pre the big event on the results. But then I think you have to give credit to the IT index in the last 4-5 days. I remember, I think we were at a point where we ended the September series and the expiry at a point when the Nifty IT index was one of the worst performers on a sectoral front relative to the top key sectors, the FMCGs, the real estate, even though these sectors were massive underperformers, but IT index was one of the key underperformers. But then in the last 4-5 days or start of this October series, we are now looking at IT index at least recovering and now coming maybe 5th last or 6th last in terms of the price performance. Again, relative scorecard performance for the IT index. That tells you the kind of recovery which you've seen for large cap IT stocks and mid cap IT names. Assumingly, if post results, you don't see any major disappointment, then you could probably expect a slew of short covering which could combine into many of these IT names. So I think it's always prudent to try and wait out for the results or the events to go by. Even if these stocks say jump up by another couple of percentage points, assuming post results, that would still be a good trade or a entry point for betting into the IT space.
Okay.